Peach Mango Crystal Light, really good tea. It's really good. It goes right up there with Lipton's peach, Diet Peach. Okay. Oh, I already know Renee and Georgette. I've done that a billion times. I'll do it again, you know. That's on that album, Renee and Georgette. And you wonder how in the world this album, you know, did so poorly. It was the early 80s. I think that's when this came out. It was like 81 or something like that. Renee and Georgette Magritte, with their dog after the war, returned to their hotel suite and they unlocked the door. Easily losing their evening clothes, they danced by the light of the moon. To the penguins, the moon glows, the Orioles, and the five satins, the deep forbidden music they'd been longing for. Renee and Georgette Magritte with their dog after the war. Renee and Georgette Magritte with their dog after the war. We're strolling down Christopher Street and they stopped in a men's store. With all of the mannequins dressed in style, they brought tears to their immigrant eyes. Just like the penguins, the moon glows, the Orioles, and the five satins, the easy stream of laughter floating through the air. Renee and Georgette Magritte with their dog April Laguerre. Side by side, side by side. Side by side, they fell asleep. Decades glow, floating like Indians. Time is cheap. No. Side by side, they fell asleep. Decades. Side by side, they fell asleep. Decades floating, gliding like Indians. Time is cheap. When they wake up, they will find all their personal belongings have intertwined. Oh, Renee and Georgette Magritte with their dog after the war. Were dining with Power Elite, and they looked in their bedroom door. And what do you think they have hidden away in the cabinet cold of their hearts? The penguins, the moon glows, the Oreos, and the five satins. For now and ever after, as it was before, Renee and Georgette Magritte with their dog after the war. And that's also on this album. The next one is my favorite song, and you know, only people that like this album like this song, you know. Cars are cars all over the world. Cars are cars all over the world, similarly made, similarly sold, in a motorcade, abandoned when they're old. Cars are cars all over the world. Cars are cars all over the world. Cars are cars all over the world. Engine in the front, jack in the back. Wheels take the brunt, pinion in the rack. Cars are cars all over the world. Cars are cars all over the world. But people are strangers, they change with the curve. From time zone to time zone, as we can observe. They shut down their borders and think they're immune. They stand on their differences and shoot at the moon. But cars are cars all over the world. Cars are cars all over the world. Cars are cars all over the world. Drive 'em on the left, drive 'em on the right. Susceptible to theft in the middle of the night. Cars are cars all over the world. Cars are cars all over the world. I once had a car that was more like a home. I lived in it, loved in it, polished its chrome. If some of my homes had been more like my car, I probably wouldn't have traveled this far. Cars are cars all over the world. 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 You know, you have to listen to the song. It goes don't cars are cars all over the world. Yeah, see, that's how that starts out. And this was Paul Simon's tribute to John Lennon. Okay. I was reading a magazine, thinking of a rock and roll song. The year was 1954, and I hadn't been playing that long, when a man came on the radio, and this is what he said. He said, I hate to break it to his fans, but Johnny Ace is dead. Well, he wasn't such a Johnny Ace fan, but I felt bad all the same. So I sent away for his photograph, and I waited till it came. It came all the way from Texas, in a sad and simple face. And they signed it on the bottom, from the great late Johnny Ace. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was the year of the Beatles. It was the year of the Stones. It was 1964. I was living in London with a girl from the summer before. It was the year of the Beatles. It was the year of the Stones. It was the year after JFK. We were staying up all night and then giving the days away. And the music was flowing, amazing and blowing my way. On a cold December evening, I was walking through the Christmas tide, when a stranger came up and asked me if I had heard that John Lennon had died. And the two of us went to this bar, and we stayed to close the place. And every song we played was for the late great Johnny Ace. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No. So that's the end of that album.